Hey everyone, like I said yesterday, we're going to continue talking about red-tailed hawks today, but I need to fly this bird, so we're going to take it outside and we're going to do some practice flights with him. So this is our male red-tailed hawk. Now yesterday we showed you that female red-tailed hawk. Today we're going to show you our male red-tailed hawk. Right now I'm doing a little bit of training with him, so he knows to come to me for his food reward. And so these birds are all trained by positive reinforcement. So basically when they do something we want them to do, they get a reward. So when I lifted my glove, he came to me, he got his food reward, and so now he knows that that's what I wanted him to do. And so that's really how we train all of our birds out here. They're all trained by that positive reinforcement, operant conditioning. When they do something we want them to do, they get a food reward. And now I'm going to send him right back to his perch. Now, these birds in the wild, they'd be eating things like we said, rats, chipmunks, squirrels, things like that. A bird like this could eat over a rat a day, every day of its life, and they could live up to 20 or 25 years. So that's a lot of rats they're taking out of the environment. Now I'm going to back up, hopefully without falling down in some of these ditches out here. And we're going to try and give this bird another flight. I've got enough food for one more flight for him, so we'll see if he'll come to me this time. These birds, we like to train them daily pretty much out here, and so he's getting his little exercise in, flying around, coming to me for his food. So we'll see if he's ready. So I'm going to lift my glove up, and here he comes right on cue. And so he's doing exactly what I want him to do. And so now he's done for the day, and so we're going to put him on a perch in the office, and we're going to talk more about him. So we're back in the office now. Like I said, this is our male red-tailed hawk. His name is Petey. He's with us because he's a human imprint, and so he doesn't really know how to behave out in the wild like he naturally should. He's a little bit too aggressive, and so if he was to catch like a chipmunk or something on the playground, your kids came running out on the playground, instead of spooking away and flying off, he would actually try and fight them for it. Now he is a little bit smaller than our female red-tailed hawk. He weighs in at, today he was 1,100 grams, whereas, like I said yesterday, that female was at 1,400 grams. We would actually like this one at about 950 grams though, so he's a little bit overweight, but he still did a really good job flying today for everyone. Now, one of the great areas to see these birds are next to the major roadways. They like to hang out near the major roadways because lots of times when people are going down the road, they've got some garbage, whether it's something biodegradable like a banana peel, or maybe it is some kind of garbage like a McDonald's wrapper. You know, they'll just toss it out the window thinking no harm, no foul. But what happens is that attracts the rats, the chipmunks, the squirrels. All those animals attract these red-tailed hawks. And so these birds have learned to stay near the roadways because that's where their food is a lot of times. Gets them into a little bit of trouble though, because these birds are full grown when they're about 2 months old. And so they're born knowing how to hunt. They're born knowing what to hunt. They really don't have to be taught that much by their parents. They don't have to worry about any kind of sicknesses keeping them in their homes for too long because they're really born knowing how to do everything. And so these birds, since they're born knowing how to do all that, they don't get taught to look both ways before they cross the road. Hopefully you look both ways before you cross the road, otherwise you might get hit by a vehicle. Well, these birds don't, and they really can't afford to. Their food is moving. And so if they take their eyes off that chipmunk or off that squirrel that's on the other side of the road, they're going to lose sight of it. It's going to run into the woods. They'll never be able to see it again. And so they've got to lock in on their food, which sometimes means they'll slam to the sides of vehicles. Like we said, we get into almost 300 sick, injured, or orphaned raptors each and every year. Now, not all of them are red-tailed hawks. Not all of them are hit by vehicles. We can tell based off their injury that a lot of them are, though. And so we like to tell people, if you're going down the road, or even if you're just walking around outside and you got some garbage, just throw it away in a proper trash can, and you might be saving a lot of these red-tailed hawk lives. Now, like I said yesterday, he's got that leg up. He's resting that side of his body. He must be tired from those 3 flights that I did with him. But he's just taking a little bit of a break. Now, these birds have incredible vision. They've got eyes like a hawk. They say that if these birds could read, which they can't, but if they could read, they could read a normal print book from about a mile away. Now, we can see for a mile. If we're up on top of a mountain or an airplane, we can see for miles and miles and miles. but we can't read a normal print book from a mile away. And so these birds have incredible vision that helps them see their food. They can see all the same color spectrum that we can see. So they can see all the orange, the blues. They can see crimson and white, but they really don't like to see those colors. Plus they can see ultraviolet light, UV light. We can't see UV light. These birds can see UV light, which helps them find their food because urine is UV light reflective. And so lots of those rodents like to leave urine trails to help them find their way back home. They can kind of follow those urine trails, figure out where those rodents have been hanging around at. They know that if someone's been using the bathroom there, that's fairly close by. If they stick around long enough, it'll probably show itself. They can swoop down, catch it, and eat it. And that's really what they would prefer to do. Is just kind of stand in those big tall trees right next to a wide open field or next to the roadways and just wait for some kind of rat, chipmunk, squirrel, something like that to show itself. Swoop down, catch it, eat it. If they get really hungry, that's when you're gonna start to see them flying around. But they really don't fly around for the fun of it. If I had wings, I'd fly around for the fun of it, but that's not really how these birds work. When they're flying around, it's because they are hungry. And so these birds, again, all over the place around here, the red-tailed hawk, we can kind of swing around and show you that red tail on him. Hopefully he'll stay still. And so we're gonna move back a little bit, and there you can see that red tail on him. And so the red-tailed hawk, probably the most common hawk found here in Alabama. So that's a lot of details about the red-tailed hawk. We covered it over these last 2 days. Like I said, they're so common, they're so neat that we thought it'd be beneficial to learn about them over the course of 2 days. Plus, we've got 2 of them. And so we wanted to show you both of our red-tailed hawks. We're going to keep talking about hawks tomorrow. We've got another type of hawk that we're going to talk about tomorrow. And so keep tuning in. He did a little shake, he's excited about tomorrow's talk about more hawks. Keep tuning in, keep sharing these videos. Thanks for tuning in. War Eagle.